Good evening. So I've tried to start this video like 4 times. I'm so out of practice making YouTube videos. Sometimes it's stressful just trying to talk into a camera. Speaking of talking to cameras, quick apology to people who've been telling me to speak directly into the lens. Oh, that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I find that very unnatural. I feel like when I'm making videos, I'm talking to someone, and that person is myself in the viewfinder. I know it's actually you in the camera lens, but I'm talking to me, and that's over here. So I am just gonna be looking off to the side. I'm sorry. Um, so someone on my blog this morning told me that they miss my videos, and so I thought, oh, I'll do a video update. First of all, got this lovely yoga table behind me. It's like a spa table. I even have some COVID-19 pop-out instructions right here. Instructions. How to get COVID-19. No, it's like, is it COVID-19 or is it the flu? My job sent me that. I'm just checking to see if my job name is on there. It's not. Anyway, so what's been going on? I've been really sick for about 2 months. I had an allergic reaction to a blood sugar medicine I started taking. See, I don't know how to talk into the camera anymore. I started taking because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's messing with my blood sugar and my hormones, and I'm not exactly trying to get pregnant right now because I have not left my apartment. I've gone on and I'm gonna blame it on the pandemic, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't gone on a date in 4 years, maybe. Like, I'm really not trying. But that's neither here nor there. Usually they'll like start seriously like treating you if you're trying to get pregnant because PCOS. Anyway, that's not the point. Anyway, I started taking this blood sugar medicine, and I had an allergic reaction to it that messed up my stomach really bad. Like, problems I have never had before. Basically, acid indigestion for, I think it's been over 2 months now. And, my throat got acid burns, and I was experiencing crazy breathing problems while I was sleeping. Like, I would stop breathing while I was sleeping and wake up gasping for air. And also, yeah, so I've been on like a proton pump inhibitor. I've been on it for a month and a half to counteract this. I'm gonna have to be on it for another 2 months in order to fix this. So basically, this area of my body, all the way up to, I'm gonna say, like here, just drowning in sickness. Like, I can only keep the front of my face above water. And so I've not been doing well, to be perfectly honest with you, because I have what's called health anxiety, and which used to be called like hypochondria, but that's not exactly accurate. Like, I do think that I have sick, it's not that I literally think that the doctors are wrong, but I do think that they miss things, and it worries me a lot. And when having this bizarre reaction to the medication, sort of in tandem with trying to quit smoking, especially like the throat symptoms, and uh, and not only that, but like my stomach is irritated by nicotine. I don't know. So I've just been stressed the hell out, not feeling well, and just sort of not able to do anything either because I'm so sick that all I want to do is like lay around. So, or, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is lead a healthy life and do my healthy things like exercising and reading and sleeping and eating enough food. Can I tell you what I had to eat for weeks? Okay, plain toast, plain rice, apples, yogurt, and coconut water. And that's about it. I think maybe what would be easier is list the things that I can't have: caffeine, coffee, tea, um, chocolate, cheese, meats, processed meats, um, anything too greasy or fatty, nothing fried, nothing acidic, no citrus fruits, no tomato products, no tomato products at all. So ketchup, pasta sauce, um, what else? I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. Okay. And anyway, so that's just been bothering me a lot. So that's one up. That's, well, there's one. There's an update. And like I said, in tandem with that, I've also been quitting smoking. Um, I started in, I think the first really serious attempt of this last couple months started at the end of November, and I lasted almost until New Year's. I quit for almost a month. But by the time that a month had, it was 29 days. I made it 29 days. By the time a month had elapsed, I was feeling so insanely depressed that I was like, "There's something wrong. You're not supposed to feel this bad a month after quitting smoking." And I kind of realized, by the way, during this time I binge watched the entire series of The Sopranos. It's the best television show I've ever seen. I got nothing else to say. If you haven't seen it, please watch that. Oh my god. It kept me alive during this quitting time. It's like I would just log off work and just sit my ass on the couch and watch The Sopranos for weeks. I'm not making this sound like I've been having a very good time. I haven't. Oh my god. My flash turned off because my battery is too low. This is a nightmare. Oh, I'm really like just a bucket of sunshine today. Okay, I charged my phone up a little bit, so hopefully I'll be able to finish my update. But like I said, it's not really, I haven't really been having the best time. So, what I was talking about is that, so I tried to quit smoking for like a month, and I realized at the end of the month that something was wrong. That I was still feeling, I was feeling worse at the end of the month than I was at the beginning. Now I'm realizing I might have told this story before on this channel. If so, I'll make it short. But essentially, I started taking antidepressants. Started taking trazodone, and it's been working great. For that medicine, I'm definitely satisfied with. Anyhow, so now that I've been taking the trazodone, I've sort of been going back and forth between quitting and not quitting. Um, it's like I will quit for 2 weeks and then I'll say, "Oh, I'm so overwhelmed and I'm sick and I'm so stressed out and I'm having all of these problems and I'm just gonna have a couple." And then it's like, okay, I smoke a couple and I'm like, I feel awful. And then I just like chain smoke for an evening and then I'm like, no, stupid. I'm gonna quit. And then I throw the pack of cigarettes away. And then the next day I'm like, oh, I'm so miserable, because the closer you are to your last cigarette, the more you want the next one. I'm like, oh, I'm so sad and miserable. And then I buy another pack, and then I smoke too many, and then I feel sick, and I throw them away, and on and on and on. And I've been repeating this cycle where I'll get 2 weeks, and then I'll be back and forth for like 5 days, and then I'll quit for another 2 weeks, and back and forth. And it is so stressful to try and battle this addiction. And I think that in the last 10 days, I just got done with my 10-day review in my journaling project. I don't know what I've said. I'm struggling. In the last 10 days, I've kind of reached a collapse stage with all of my efforts towards better health. It's like I'm really into motivation as a genre. I like motivational videos. I like self-help books. I like motivational books. And I like productivity apps. Like I'm fully drinking the Kool-Aid on this. And I've had really good results, actually. I'm doing pretty good. By the way, 7.5 months sober. Still doing that, so at least my life isn't totally in shambles. But anyway, but actually I wound up having to go to like a 3-hour AA meeting the other morning. Not the other morning, a couple weeks ago, but because this cycle with the cigarettes is just how I was with drinking. I would drink so much and I'd get sick, and then I'd nurse myself back to health, and I'd say, oh, well, I feel better. Maybe I can just have one, and then I'd binge, and then the cycle, just repeats itself, and and I knew that I needed to quit. I knew it was a problem, but I just get caught in this cycle of compulsivity. And so yeah, like this quitting smoking, it was like really triggering these like awful feelings I had from years of being an alcoholic. And where am I going with this? Where is this story going this week? Okay, so I just did my review, and this week I've just been a mess. Like I'm feeling a little bit better physically, but the I feel like an animal who has struggled against the bars of its cage so long that they just collapse and just go to sleep, because I cannot break free of this nicotine thing right now. I don't have the juice. I have been trying consistently, like putting in, as I was going through my diary entries over the last 10 days, it's touching how hard I try. Like I try so hard, and I just can't do it right now. And I'm a perfectionist. And it bothers me that I just can't. I keep thinking that I'm gonna like smart my way around this thing. And that again is something I exactly said about my drinking too. But for whatever reason, the cigarettes have a stronger emotional hold on me than the drinking does. Like the physical craving, the physical withdrawal, I can handle at this point. Like, yeah, I'm gonna feel angry and like I want a cigarette for a couple days. That is totally normal. Um, but it's the underlying emotional problems that I am having trouble with. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a fucked up story about my childhood. So when I was though I'm the other day, yesterday I think, I'm like sitting at my desk at my job, and by my job I mean in my bedroom because I am still working from home. And I was like thinking about, no, couldn't, it was like 2 days ago, it doesn't matter. Um, I was thinking about how awful I felt without the cigarettes. And I was thinking about, I'd been in a meeting the other night where they were talking about how when you quit drinking, it's like losing a friend. And for me, it's like the cigarettes are a friend to me. And I was sort of like exploring that feeling, like this feeling of being alone in this addiction, and just being assaulted by all of these bad feelings, and I'm doing my best, but I am, I'm ashamed of myself that I can't quit, and I'm in pain, and it's like I feel like a failure because I can't do this, and it's a very lonely feeling. And I sort of I feeling my feelings as I talk about. I don't know why this is feeling my feelings. It's in the body. I like kind of followed that feeling in my mind back to the past, and I started having this memory, which is the sort of microcosm of like my childhood, I guess, some aspects of it, where I had a retainer and in elementary school, and one day I accidentally threw it out at lunch, right? And so I felt really bad about it. I like went home. I told my mom right away. It was a total honest mistake. And my mother, being extremely stable herself, flipped out, like, you know, screaming at me, all that kind of thing. And then she actually drove me and my two sisters. We're all in elementary school, okay? She drove me and my two sisters to the elementary school and jumped into the dumpster like a crazy person and was like tearing bags of trash open, trying to find this retainer. And it's a horrifying thing to like see as a child, to see. And this is how my mom was like my entire childhood. She's just totally unhinged, you know, could not be trusted to have a reasonable reaction, and she was the better parent. um So anyway, so she's like tearing the, just throwing things out of the dumpster, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, and first of all, she found that she didn't find the retainer. But what was your plan there, Mother? Were you gonna like pull this thing out of the dumpster and put it back in my mouth, you fucking pig? Woo! This is like a really, really fun video. Anyway, so um, but I followed my feeling about quitting smoking, and I kind of connected it to this childhood feeling of being ashamed, being alone, having no one to talk to, or no one who could help me deal with the pain that I was dealing with. And it really, like, being alone, and it's been a bad year for being alone. And I think that I've connected my cigarette friend, my personal comforter, the thing that I can turn to, that's just mine, it's just for me, to this feeling of like horrific loneliness that I had throughout my entire childhood. It's like, for some reason, the cigarette puts a band-aid on that for me. And so that, I don't know if that makes sense to anyone but me, but it's like it's a feelings problem. It's not rational, it's like, it's a feeling that I am trying to self-medicate with the cigarettes. And I'm kind of at a point where it's like, I don't know what to do about that. It's like, do I want to get back into therapy? I don't. I did quit therapy. It's like, I think of myself as someone, it's like, I'm so good at like acknowledging what happened when I was a kid and being compassionate towards myself most of the time. That, I don't know, it doesn't feel like maybe something that a therapist can even help me with. It's like something that I need to go through on my own. And it's like, it's very hard. It's very hard. So, woo! I don't know, do I need to include some monkey shots at the end of this video in order to make it bearable? I'm so sorry to be such a Debbie Downer, but like, honestly, I've been having such a hard time. But anyway, so my 10-day review. I went through all this stuff that I've been doing in the last 10 days, where it's like I'm kind of cycling through this really toxic game that I play with myself, where it's like, I will read some Tony Robbins books and I'll say, okay, the solution to my problem is I just need to decide that I'm quitting smoking and just stick with the decision. And then I get emotionally overwhelmed, and then I'm smoking again. And then I feel really sick, and I'm like, no, I'm just so disturbed by this behavior that I've done. And then I'll watch a YouTube video about having a victim complex, and I'll say, I'm not a victim. I control my own actions. I can do this, and no one is coming to rescue me. I have to do this on my own. I'm never gonna smoke again. And then I'm smoking the next day. Like, it got so bad, like this cognitive dissonance of how I'm acting and what I think and what I believe at the time that I'm gonna actually do. I don't even remember what it was exactly that happened, but it was like one day at work where I was all fired up on motivation shit. And then at my lunch break from my desk job, I like went out, bought a pack of cigarettes, smoked like 3 in a row once I got back in, and just I found it so disturbing that I actually like called out sick from the rest of the day, took the next day off. I was like, I had to call out sick from work for like mental problems this week because that's how stressful the quitting smoking is. And so what I've decided is that I'm not going to try and quit smoking right now. I think that I ran out of juice on this attempt. It was a good attempt. I tried really hard, and I just don't have it right now. So I've got myself a little timer. It's running every 2 hours, and I'll smoke every 2 hours. That's bearable to me. I mean, I haven't run really good at it for the 2 days that I've been trying it, but I've done this before. It's like basically I'm just trying to strike a not a healthy balance, but a tolerable balance right now where I'm not chain smoking out of a reaction to like, oh, finally I get the thing I want. But just more so at like a maintenance level. Like, don't go crazy. Don't make yourself physically ill with how much you're smoking. And I've decided to do this until March. And I think that just taking that piece out and just healing my body, because remember, I'm really sick too. I'm sorry. This video is so sad. But to like really give myself a chance to physically heal from this medical reaction that I've been having. And yeah, so my theme for the next 10 days is I'm going to take a vacation. I'm not going to read any self-help books. I'm not going to listen to any motivational videos. I am just going to read my trashy Anne Rice novel, and I am going to watch movies that I like and ride on my little exercise bike and smoke every once in a while and just try and get myself a sense of well-being again. Because I've been in this whole cycle that I've been talking about for so long. I can't even I can't remember the last time I was just a comfortable smoker. Can I just smoke, please? Please. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so I guess that's my update. I don't know, maybe I hate to come on here and be such a bummer, but like that's what I got to talk about. So you're welcome to the anonymous person who requested this video. I'm sorry I couldn't be funny. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll make a video later this week about how it's all going with trying to fucking relax. Goodbye.